سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما اللهم اجعل أعمالنا خالصة لوجهك ولا تجعل فيها حظا لغيرك آمين يا رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. How's everyone doing today? MashaAllah, nice to be back, nice to see familiar faces, alhamdulillah. I see the class has gone much smaller, but alhamdulillah, sorry? The class is smaller. Yes, alhamdulillah. You know, we started with the praises of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all praise due to Him. We ask of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send abundant salutations on our beloved Nabi Mohamed sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Just a quick reminder, we're still busy with some technical things to get our screen up inshallah. But a quick reminder to the reality of us finding ourselves in such an environment, in such a class, alhamdulillah. And it should be that every single day we start off with the praises of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This was the teachings of our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that every single morning he would wake up. It's a dua that we've been taught as children, it's a dua that you learn whilst at madrasa. But the importance of this dua and the positive effect that this dua can have in one's life is actually tremendous. If you look at the psychology of this particular dua, it has such a positive effect on one's life that it could assist one not only through the day, but through the week, through the month, even through the entire year. That is the beautiful dua where Rasulullah says, Alhamdulillah, illadhi ahyana. All praise due to the one that has granted us life. I mean, life, the gift of life. No one can give you life. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can give the gift of life. So whilst waking up, reminding oneself that one is only awake through the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One is awake because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided that He's going to give you another opportunity. In the Holy Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that at the time of sleep He removes the soul, He removes the ruh from the body. And at the time of awakening, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replaces the ruh and you wake up. And if He decides that the ruh is not going to be put back into your body, you do not wake up. You do not wake up from your sleep. You remain with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the fact that we've woken up this morning, it means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decided to give us another opportunity to life. How do we appreciate this gift of life? Every single time. And why is it that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decided and chosen to give us this extra opportunity? You know, sometimes we need to ask ourselves the question, are we worthy of the opportunity and the gift of life? And how are we going to appreciate it? Because Rasulullah says, بَعْدَ مَا أَمَاتَنَا, in the same dua, after He has taken us away. Amata, you mean to maut. After He's granted us what is known as the minor death. Sleep is the minor death. You can take how many Red Bulls, you can take how many double shots of espresso, you know, to keep you awake. Eventually the eyes must close. And this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's system to remind us that like your eyes are closing every night or every second night, or for those who stay up more than 24 hours, eventually it must close. But there's going to be a time that it's going to close, that it's not going to open. Are we prepared for that day? So should it be that tonight our eyes close and it doesn't open, are we prepared for the standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So every single day wake up with belief that Allah has granted you another chance, gift of life. So I've made this example before and I'm going to make it again. Where a person, for example, he works his entire life and he's built up certain capacity. And what happens is he's retrenched, doesn't have a job. So he's out of work for a year, 2 years, 3 years, he's trying to get work and he's unable to get a job. So what eventually happens is the work that the boss that he was working for comes back to him years later after he's basically out of it. He has no money, nothing, and they tell him, I'm going to give you another opportunity. You know, I want you to come into the company. He had a very high position, you're going to come back in, but there's some other candidates as well. So you basically have to prove yourself. I mean, how are you going to step into the company? You know, how are you going to show the boss that out of all the candidates, I'm the one that belongs here? Because you need that job, you need the sustenance that's going to come from the job. So you're going to come in and you're going to give it your all. So likewise, the fact that we've woken up this morning is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying, I'm going to give you knowledge once. And what is the chance for? It's an opportunity to turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May we turn back to Him. And in the rest of the words of this particular dua, وَإِلَيْهِ النُّشُورُ, and to Him is our return. So Rasulullah was known as Jawami'ul Kalim. You could say few words, but like tons and tons of research could be done on this. Just the dua of the morning, waking up, praises to Allah, thanking Allah for the reality of life. Number two, reminding oneself that what just has passed means that I was away, and I'm giving that opportunity. And then further than that, وَإِلَيْهِ النُّشُورُ, my end result is my return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is our Rasulullah. And the study behind this, the psychology behind this is powerful. And may we too realize the importance of this particular act and every other sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's very, very powerful. It's only when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants us that understanding that sometimes we implement it. But many a times only when scientific proof comes or only when a better understanding comes do we then say, okay, makes sense, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to act upon it. But may it be such that whether the scientific proof has come, whether the proper understanding has come, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said it, then I'm going to try my best to implement it in my life. If Rasulullah said it, then I'm going to try my best to implement it in my life. Definitely is only going to be good towards me, and it's going to keep harm away from me. So this is the note that we're going to start on this year. We're going to say Alhamdulillah, and praise be to Allah. Alhamdulillahi alladhi ahyana, has granted us life. Ba'dama amatana, after taking us away. And our reminder, وَإِلَيْهِ النُّشُورُ, to Him is our return. How is our presentation going to be like? Number one. Number two, very importantly, the fact that we find ourselves sitting in the class, the fact that you're back here, the fact that you're in this environment, and to say something even more amazing. This is once again the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May yuridillahu bi khayran yufaqihu fid din. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whoever Allah wants good for, the creator of the heavens and the earth, Al-Alim, one of Allah's names, is the most knowledgeable. He understands the universe, He understands the extent of it, He understands what's good and what's bad, what's great and what's not. He's the one that has given the scientists the intellect to achieve what they do. He's granted those who are achieving technological advancements the ability to think and do what they do. So the creator of the heavens and the earth, if He wishes good for you, what is it that He would want for you? What is it that He would want for you? And as a human being, we will obviously vary as to what is good for us, or what we understand to be good. But the creator of the heavens and the earth that can give you at any moment in time whatever it is that you need. The Rasulullah says, if Allah wants good for you, yufaqihu fid deen, He gives you understanding of His deen. He gives you an understanding of His deen, His religion, His expectation of what He wants from us. Now, quick question, and I'm hoping that we can get some interaction here, starting the year on that note, inshallah. Why would it be important? Why would it be so great out of any and everything that Allah can give us? Wealth, honor, fame, whatever it is that we can ask for, that Allah can give us. Rasulullah says, if Allah wants good for you, He gives you an understanding of deen. Well, how would that supersede everything else that as a human being we would want? If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says there's two things or three things or only one thing that you can ask for, the genie in the bottle, you've got three wishes. What are the three wishes going to be? I want to be a multi-millionaire. What are the three wishes going to be? If there's anything that you could want, what would you want? Yet Rasulullah says, if Allah wants good for you, the creator of the heavens and earth that can give you whatever it is that you want, that can answer those three wishes in an instant, He says, He gives you understanding of deen. Why? Why would that supersede everything else? Okay, take a moment. Why would that supersede everything else that could be good for you? It's the key to ultimate success. It's the key to ultimate success. It's the key to ultimate success. Does everyone agree with that? Why and how? Sorry? The core of our existence. What is the core of existence? Understand the deen, okay? But how does it assist us? Why is... And if you understand the deen, you're going to draw closer to Allah. Okay, good. How is that going to assist us? Our journey towards Jannah. Our journey towards Jannah. Let's give us a moment quickly.
Okay, so I think it's on
Trying to get the screen set up so we can continue with our lesson. So something to think about. The creator of the heaven and the earth believes that deen would be something that is good for us and supersedes everything else. And there was a few answers. The ultimate, what was it that Uncle said again? The key to the ultimate success. It draws us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and ultimately one gets Jannah. And this is the reality. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks to us in the Holy Quran as to what success is. It gives us a definition of success. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَمَنْ زُحْزِحَ عَنِ النَّارِ, whoever is kept away from the fire of Jahannam, وَأُدْخِلَ الْجَنَّةِ, and is entered into Jannah, فَقَدْ فَازَ, he is ultimately successful. You can have everything in this dunya. You can be a multi-billionaire. You can have whatever it is that you desire, and it's fulfilled. But on the day of Qiyamah, if you are told that you do not enter into Jannah, then you are a failure. But you might be struggling in this world, but you try for that outcome. The Qiyamah, you enter into Jannah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَقَدْ فَازَ, now you are successful. I give the example of the timeline. I don't know if I made this example before, but it's always, even if I mention the example, it strikes myself, putting into context the life that we have, and the shortness of this life. So from the ground all the way to the sky, and timeline doesn't stop. And you put your life on this timeline. So, say for example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants us 70 years of life. 70 years of life? 70 years of life. And we put this on a scale of 70 millimeters. 70 millimeters. 70 years, 70 millimeters. So 70 millimeters is how much centimeters? 7 centimeters. And how big is that? Sorry? 0.7. 70 millimeters is how much centimeters? 7 centimeters. Everyone agree with that? How big is that? Show me on your hands how big that is. 7 centimeters. It's about this big. Everyone agree? So put this on the timeline of life. Before this, you were non-existent. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings you into the dunya for this amount of time. And after this, you're in one or two places for eternity. Is this a lot of time? Not at all.
I think it's a lot, but once you get there, you realize your life is short.
So this is your life, and then in the time of when you go on, and then 1, 2, your entire existence has doubled already. So Rasulullah says that if Allah wants good for you, He gives you that understanding, so that you can work to be eternally successful. You can work to felicity for the rest of your life. فَمَنْ زُحْزِحَ عَنِ النَّارِ وَأُدْخِلَ الْجَنَّةِ فَقَدْ فَازَ. Whoever is kept away from the fire of Jahannam and is entered into Jannah, he is ultimately successful. 2 people will be brought to the day of Qiyamah, authentic hadith. The person who had a luxurious life, he had everything that he possibly wanted. He had it. And but he didn't live for the sake of Allah. He didn't love Islam. He lived the opposite of it. And this person is dipped. Hadith is dipped, like, dip? Like if I put my hand into the water, like I dip it, I take it out. He's dipped into the fire of Jahannam. Dipped in and out. And just through the horror of being in there for that split second, he basically gets amnesia. He's in and out, and the shock causes him to forget everything. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks him, did you have any pleasures on this dunya? And he takes an oath, he says, Wallahi, I didn't have any enjoyment in this world. Because of the split second, he forgot everything. That's a split second enjoyment. The person who went through a bit of difficulty, he struggled, he strove, but he dedicated his life for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He tried to fulfill the commands to the best of his ability. He slipped up, but he continued trying. And he went through difficulties, he went through trials, he went through tribulations. He's brought and he's dipped into Jannah for a moment, split second, in and out. And he's asked, did you have any difficulties on this dunya? And he takes an oath, he says, Wallahi, I didn't have any difficulties on this dunya. Because for that split second, the amount of enjoyment that he enjoyed, he forgot everything that happened. And for eternity, he will be placed into Jannah. So again, I'm going to emphasize the fact that Rasulullah says, if Allah wants good for you, He's going to grant you such an opportunity. He's going to allow you to come to a class. You started out with 300 people. If I take a rough estimate, it's probably less than 100 in this class. Rough estimate? Well, Khalil said last year to you, look to the right, look to the left, but by the end of the year, they're not going to be here. They're not going to be there. So understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen you to be here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decided to instill that desire for you to come forward. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has seen something good in me and you, and may it be so, inshallah. May it be that we are worthy of the gift that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. Number one, we spoke about life, and number two, the opportunity to learn, the opportunity to draw closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the opportunity to follow the teachings of our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the opportunity to go through the Quran and understand better what it is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us. Subhanallah. We read Surah Fatiha, and it is says, the scholars say that Surah Fatiha means the opening chapter, the introduction. The scholars say that the rest of the Quran is a tafsir and explanation for Surah Fatiha. The rest of the Quran. So Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, all praise is due to Rabbil Alameen, Lord of all the worlds. All praise is due to Him. So the rest of the Quran will explain why all praise is due to Allah. Why He is the Lord of the worlds. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the most merciful and the especially merciful. The rest of the Quran will give you glimpses as to why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most merciful and the especially merciful. One verse Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. And if you try to count the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or if you try to enumerate one of the favors that Allah has granted you, you cannot put an amount to it. You cannot put an amount to it. You can't put an amount to it. The gift of sight. I offer you R1 million for your eyes. Will you give it to me? You won't be able to enjoy your eyesight. So Ar-Rahman, it's on the scale of hyperbole. It's mubalagha. The furthest extent that Allah is most merciful. There is not even one of the gifts, not eyesight, can you pay for. Maliki Yawmiddin. But after Allah mentions that I'm most merciful to you, every single day I give you another opportunity to life. Whether you turn against me, whether you follow my instructions, I give you that opportunity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, but a reminder, Maliki Yawmiddin, I am the master of the day of judgment. So yes, I am the most merciful, but eventually I will take you to account for the gift of life that I have given you. So after understanding this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all praise is due to Him. That is the most merciful, especially merciful. That is the master of the day of judgment. How does one feel? How does one feel? There's always a feeling. Surah Fatiha is a beautiful build up via the verses. You start off praising Allah. You start off reminding yourself that Allah is the most merciful. But then you come to a dead halt, that Ya Allah, you're the master of the judgment. I'm going to stand in front of you. How does one feel? What's the natural feeling after hearing this? What do you feel? You feel helpless. You feel in a state that you want to submit. So look at the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Immediately Allah knows the state, and Allah assists in the wording as to what you want to do. Iyaka na'budu. Oh Allah, you alone do we worship. I submit myself to you. Wa iyaka nasta'een. I turn to you for assistance. You alone do I ask for assistance. So after, once again, look at the progression. Iyyaka na'budu. The word na'budu from the word abd, to completely submit. So now you submit, but what must you do? Where do you start? What's the path that I need to take? How do I know what's right from wrong? So again, next step, dua, turning to Allah. Ihdina, Allah guide us. Ihdina sirat al-mustaqim, onto that path, that straight path, the path that you have to. The progression. This is Surah Fatiha. Surah Fatiha you've learned. Has it affected your salah? Has there been that conversation and that connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Rasul says, Hadith Qudsi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Qasamtu salati bayni wa bayna abdi nisfayn, that I have divided the salah between myself and my slave into two halves. And then when he says, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, when the slave says, all praise is due to Rabbil Alameen, then I say, what does Allah say? Hamidani Abdi, my slave has just praised me. When you say that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responds to you. When he says Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, and the slave says, the most merciful, Allah is the most merciful, especially merciful. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Athna alayya abdi, my slave has just exalted me. When you say Maliki Yawmiddin, when you say that Allah is the master of the day of judgment, then Allah once again responds, Majjadani abdi, that my slave has shown my greatness. This is a conversation between you and Allah. Understand that. Well, Muhammad said something very beautiful after coming from Hajj, and he said that Rasulullah sallallahu, all of our imans differ. So the iman of the malaika doesn't change. It doesn't go up, it doesn't go down. They've been created just to do the commands of Allah, worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It does not change. The iman of a human being, or as believers, Rasulullah says, Al-Iman Yazeed or Yankus, that the iman of the believer, it increases and decreases. So today, you feel like a super saint, at the high, to do all the good, and tomorrow, feel the opposite. And then the iman of the Anbiya only increases. The iman of the Anbiya increases, every day still it increases. For the 23 years of Rasulullah getting guidance, getting Quran, getting understanding, his iman increased. So the highest point of iman is when one sees the reality of something. You see Jannah, you believe now. You see Jahannam, you believe. You see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can't have a greatest extent of iman than that. And Rasulullah went on the journey of Isra and Mi'raj, and it goes all the way through Jannah, he sees it. It goes all the way through Jahannam, he sees it. And he has a meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the highest state of iman. So he comes back to the dunya. So going from that high state, going back to the dunya, not directly being able to see Allah, see Jannah, see Jahannam, naturally you're going back, so the iman is going to decrease. But I just said now, an iman of the Anbiya must increase. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them a gift to ensure that there's the increase. What is that gift? The gift of Salah. Salah, Mi'raj al-Mu'min. The Salah is the Mi'raj, that ascension. Like Rasulullah went on the ascension, the Salah is the Mi'raj, the ascension of the believer. You've done Surah Fatiha. How is it affecting your Salah? Is there communication and a conversation between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Okay? And so, these are important reminders for us. We're going to go through another year, inshaAllah, of Quran, of the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We need to open our hearts for these words. We need to allow to affect us. We need to, if we're going to recite these verses, at minimum Surah Fatiha, then we need to make that connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It needs to increase our iman. The Sahaba radiallahu anhu, they came into the Salah, and it was like they were being reformed. Every Salah they were being spoken to by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When they came out, the iman, they were boosted. And I imagine Fajr, they come to Fajr, they boosted. They come to Dhuhr, they more boosted. They come to Asr, they more boosted. And Isha time they're flying, but now they need to go sleep because it's too much boosting for the day. This was the Sahaba radiallahu anhu. May Allah grant us a taste of what they had. Just a taste, Ya Allah, grant us a taste of what the Sahaba had. when they reached the extent where they said, when they were given a command, immediately they said, Sami'na, Ya Rasulullah, Ya Allah, we hear, wa ta'na, and we obey immediately. Allah grant us a taste of that. So again, may yuridillahu bi khayran yufaqqih fi deen. If Allah wants good for you, He's going to give you an understanding of His deen. You are sitting in the class, Allah's chosen you. Appreciate it. I'm not going to say what Mother Khalil said last year, because you're so here to stay now. I'm not going to say, look on the right and look on the left, because you're not this person that you're seeing now, you're not going to see him. No, you're all going to see them. Ameen. You're all going to see them. You're on a journey together. Wal asr, inna al-insana fi khusr. By the token of time, mankind is at a loss. Illa alladhina amanu, except those who have iman. Wa amilu salihat, they are doing good deeds. Wa tawasaw bil haqq, they're mutually assisting one another with truth. I didn't see you last week. What happened? I'm thinking of dropping out. What? I'm going to come fetch you. You knock by his door Sunday morning, you get him out of bed, you bring him with you. Wa tawasaw bil haqq, you're mutually assisting your friends, brothers, sisters with truth. Wa tawasaw bil sabr. Not you knock the one story starts like it's klaar met jou nou. No. Sabr. So this is an important reminder for us for the year. Set the tone. Allah's granted you a gift. Appreciate the gift. So show appreciation for the opportunity. Thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. La in shakartum la azidannakum. If you are going to show gratitude, I'm only going to increase you, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. Allah is going to increase you in your understanding. Allah is going to increase you in your closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is going to increase you in your love for Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And a beautiful diagram. And it doesn't seem like we're going to really get into our lesson today, but this Allah has chosen for this to be our lesson. And she often mentioned this at the nikah. There's a beautiful diagram of a triangle. The triangle, like this. So at the top of the triangle is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the height of the triangle. And on the sides of this triangle, the one side is you, and the other side is your spouse. The one side is you, the other side is your family. The one side is you, the other side is whoever. The higher up on the triangle you are, and the next individual, your spouse or your family, the closer you are to Allah. And the further you are from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the further you are from your spouse, or from your family, or from whoever. So the better you and your spouse, you and your family's connection with Allah, the better your connection will be with one another. And the further you are from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the further you will have a connection. So the husband's up here, and the wife is down there. It's going to be a clash. Or the wife is up here, and the husband's down there. So far apart. But if both are on the journey, both growing towards Allah, the closer you will be, the more in love you will be, the more romance there will be between the two of you, because of your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So may we all be on this journey together. Friends, family, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nara. All you believe, save yourselves, as well as your family from the fire of Jahannam. So we start off with praise of Allah, we start off with gratitude, we say Alhamdulillah, Shukr Ya Allah, for the opportunity that you have granted us to find ourselves once again in a class, to find ourselves once again sitting, connecting ourselves to the Book of Allah, understanding. Show gratitude, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will increase us on that. So that will be our session today. There's 5 minutes left. In this 5 minutes you can just think about the words that were said, inshallah, and have a plan. What is it I'm going to do this year in connection to my class, and in connection to my drawing closer to Allah, and in connection to my family getting on board. So maybe the family member cannot sit here, but Rasulullah says, Ballighu anni walau ayah. Convey the message, even if it is one ayah that you're telling them, one hadith, or out of the 40 minutes that I spoke now, if you remember nothing, one thing, try to remember one thing and pass that on to them. They cannot be here, but Allah's gifted you to be here, so pass that message on to them, inshallah. And then very important, and I cannot overemphasize this, is the process that we need to go through of tazkiyah. Tazkiyah, purification of the heart, purification of the mind, purification of the soul. It's like this cup. This cup can either be like this, and water will go into it. And I make the example of this like the heart. So the cup is open, it's ready to accept. So the heart is like that. If the heart is open and clean, the light of Allah, the nur of Allah will enter into it. But if this cup is turned around, the heart is closed, the heart is sealed, the heart has been blackened, then as much as water I'm pouring on you, absolutely nothing can happen. Another example is the cup is open, but in there is a drop of urine. In there is a drop of something else. You put water in, are you going to drink that water? Is that water going to be clean or contaminated? Contaminated. The water is going to be useless. Likewise the heart, if the heart is contaminated, and anything that enters into there is going to be contaminated. The process of tazkiyah. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ تَزَكَّى قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. Successful is the one that goes through the process of tazkiyah. Every day look at the heart, look at the condition of the heart, cleanse the heart, astaghfirullah, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, any form of dhikr will remove those negativities. Once it's removed, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will shine His nur onto our heart, inshallah, and we'll be illuminated. Many a time you hear someone say, you see the beautiful nur on the person's face. That is the reflection of what is happening on side, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows it to show on one's face. Sometimes you see the opposite and you get a bit worried. No nur. The reflection of what's happening inside. So, number one, shukr, gratitude for the opportunity. Number two, we all need to be on this process of tazkiyah. Tazkiyah. The heart is not pure, and then nothing is going to be able to enter into it. If anything does enter into it, it's going to be diluted with a whole lot of negativities. But when it is pure, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows that purity to flow through the limbs. It will show on your faces, and you will see it in your actions. Okay. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept us for this year, inshallah. May He grant us a good year ahead. May this class allow us to draw closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and may the effects of that show on our limbs and show on our interaction with one another. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Jazakallah khair. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As for the rest of the classes, I'm going to be starting Surah Ar-Rahman with you. It's a beautiful surah. But before we get into Surah Ar-Rahman, I know everyone's very rusty. So we'll take about a week, 2 weeks, depending on how long it takes, to do a good revision of what you did for practically the entire year. So a crash course of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and we'll cover the grammar, the nahu, some of the sarf, what you did. So we were supposed to start with that today, but you see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew you need to get warmed up. Engines are a bit, so next week inshallah we are hoping to have everything set up immediately, and then we'll just get into some revision. We'll do a nice crash course. We'll go according to your pace, but it is going to be condensed so that we can get into the surah immediately, and then we'll do some practical application of whatever we learn in the surah. A quick question, and I want a response from you. Why are we going into all the grammar, nahu, sarf, and fa'ala, fa'alu, and eli, and jinn, and the whole works? Why can't I just translate to you? Why can't I just open the Quran, translate to you, you go home, you inspire, alhamdulillah. What's the objective of us teaching you Arabic? What's the objective of us teaching you the scales and everything else? Why do you think it's important for you to know this? Sorry? So very important, and we all need to understand this, because sometimes you come in like, I understand this, and how does that affect my journey to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Knowing fa'ala, fa'alu has no effect on my journey to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the objective, very importantly, is we're hoping, and with the permission of Allah, to pass on the tools so that you yourself can understand the words of Allah. For us to translate, alhamdulillah, it's easy. With the permission of Allah, you inspired, but when you go home, if you open the Quran, when you say alhamdulillah, you must be able to, with the permission of Allah, understand, because you're being given the tools. I understand, alhamdulillah, I've been given the dictionary, I know how to use it, so that when the teacher's not there, you can still have a connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the reason why we're teaching you the nahu and the sarf and all this, to know intricate things. It gives you the tools so that you yourself can make the connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everyone got that? Is everyone on board? Ready for next week inshallah? For our first class? Let's have نحو inshallah. شكرا جزيلا. خير الجزاء وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين. Is there any questions? Are there any questions? فمن زحزح عن النار وأدخل الجنة. Let's check it quickly. It is Surah Al-Imran, Surah 3, verse number 185. كل نفس ذائقة الموت وإنما توفون أجوركم يوم القيامة فمن زحزح عن النار وأدخل الجنة فقد فاز وما الحياة الدنيا إلا متاع الغرور. It's in the middle of a verse, Surah Al-Imran, that's Surah 3, verse number 185. Any other questions at all? Guys, any questions about the class or anything? No? Okay, khair. So we'll see each other next week inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.